The evidence is that last year, when there were troubles, there was a great deal of misinformation being spread deliberately to encourage disorder. What action can the government take to ensure that only proper information is disseminated and this other activity of telling lies to encourage disorder is squashed?
The government, when it's drawn to their attention or when we examine those matters, will ask for fake posts to be taken down. And it's important that we maintain the integrity of the situation that's happening. And part of the challenge that we do face is to ensure that that people are not led by what I would call fake news or not encouraged by others to take action. But members will know that individuals last year who encouraged people to take illegal action found themselves before the court, and they need to be very careful in relation to actions that are taken at any time, or else the potential is there for further charge, further arrest and further consideration of matters before the courts. That's what happened last year, and I would urge all to look calmly at the situation and to reflect on how best to express a view to their members of parliament or to the public in a peaceful, orderly way.
I live very close to the town of Epping, having served as the Member of Parliament for the Epping Forest constituency for 27 years until last summer. It has long been recognised that the Bell Hotel is not a good place for asylum seekers to be housed. And I'm sure the Minister will recall that the Conservative Home Secretary closed the Bell Hotel in Epping in April 2024, and these asylum seekers were dispersed to other places. The Minister's colleagues reopened the hotel without any consultation with the District Council, which is somewhat unfortunate. I do, however, join with the Minister in thanking Essex Police for the way in which they are dealing with a very difficult current situation. It should be noted, amongst the misinformation that is out there, that both of the men who've been accused of serious crimes are now in custody awaiting trial. Our justice system is working. But does the Minister agree with me that it's the duty of elected representatives, all elected representatives, regardless of which party they represent, to do their best to encourage community cohesion and to calm down a potentially riotous situation? The Minister has said just about that in these last few minutes. The considerable amount of misinformation that is being spread by a particular political party is unfortunate and is working against community cohesion. Will the Minister join with me in calling everyone involved in the situation in the Epping Forest area and across Essex to stop inciting violence, to call for calm, and to think of the vulnerable people that we should all be protecting?
I'm grateful to the noble lady who knows potentially that constituency better than anybody in this House today, and she brings her wise counsel to the House with her comments this afternoon. It is important that all of us, elected and people who hold office in society, ensure that they compare the position there in a favourable way to ensure that the police have their support, that the criminal justice system is allowed to take its course, and that community cohesion and community engagement is the most important issue before the House today.
Recognise the legitimate fury and frustration of local people, whether in Epping or Diss, about the fact that they feel their voices are not heard in relation to the concerns about hotel and their genuine fear for their children and so on, about crimes that are committed from people staying in the hotels, even if it's a minority of those staying in the hotels. And secondly, on misinformation, does the Minister acknowledge that some misinformation can be in calling those local people far-right thugs, which to a certain extent is the most insulting thing you can call people who are genuinely protesting? Will the Minister distance himself from that misinformation as well as the other misinformation he's mentioned?
I would say to the Noble Baroness, first of all, that any potential crime that is committed anywhere, be it in a hotel or be it anywhere else, and it could have happened in the town centre as well as potentially in any hotel, is a matter for the police to investigate, for the police to charge, and for a jury of peers to make a determination upon in due course. In this case, an individual has been arrested and charged and will be before the court in due course, and I can't comment on the circumstances there. If people have a legitimate view about concerns over a hotel or about asylum or about migrants or about cross-channel people crossing the channel, they have a right to express that view in a peaceful, orderly way. The line is drawn where that protest leads into potential crimes also, and in this case the police have taken action to arrest and potentially to charge individuals in relation to crimes, which equally will go before the courts and be determined in due course. It is the job of all of us to appeal for calm in those circumstances, to ensure that we find political solutions to some of the challenges that we have, but not in any way, shape and form to inflame or encourage inflammatory action against the police, the community, or indeed people who are not committing crimes who happen to reside in a particular place at a particular time.